That must have been sometime early '72, I would guess, with some meeting with Raymond Chow, actually, and also with another American businessman who I then began to work with, a guy called Andy Varney, who's now started up Coralco, and now he's got Synergy and so forth. Well, Bruce certainly made an impression on you. There was no question about this. It wasn't his stature. It was, I mean, he really did, and I hate to use the word, but he had a charisma. I mean, he really seemed to be a few inches off the ground. He never really quite touched the ground, you know. there was a whip-cracking vitality about the guy. And of course, you know, rather than shake your hand, you'll demonstrate his, the ability to send his foot past your nose, clearing it by at least a couple of tenths of an inch at about 140 miles an hour, and by way of introduction. One thing that it's really not a story about a personal meeting with Bruce, but I wrote a documentary about Bruce Lee. So I was going back through a lot of footage and a lot of contemporary text and publications and recordings and so forth and so on. And I was reading. He did write quite a bit of stuff on martial arts, and he developed his own style, and which was very minimalist. It really was. It was a most undemonstrative style of martial arts. And all the, if you like, philosophy perhaps which went behind that, or at least. And then when you read all this, and then you see Bruce on the screen, and then instead of this very sort of soft, introspective personality, it goes whack. You know, I mean, what he did on the screen was absolutely no relation whatsoever to what he was teaching or studying. But Bruce understood cinema, and he made it look terrific. So there is a big difference between reality and cinema, obviously, but he certainly knew how to make what he was doing look great to an audience. This is not to say that what he was saying and thinking and doing wasn't absolutely real. He was a brilliant martial artist. It's just that wasn't the martial arts that he was teaching.
Personally, I'm a fan of Bruce Lee very much. Right? Not only he portrayed a certain heroic characters which reflected to the world since his death, but personally, I have a lot of respect for his own personal philosophy as not only as a martial artist but as a human being. You know, Bruce Lee gave me, and what affected my life and my career, that his drive and his beliefs and confidence. I don't have particular favorite Bruce Lee film. I like them all, because they represent a certain classic fight scenes in action movies, right? Like the Big Boss, Fist of Fury. There's a couple classic scenes when he fought the Japanese, in the Japanese dojo, or is it Way of Dragon when he fought in Rome with Chuck Norris, So they are my favorites. Bruce Lee was able to deliver his physical capability in one shot throughout with no cuts, and that shows tremendous amount of martial art capability. As in many other action hero on films, you can see it's shot by shot, and many shots are cut together, and perhaps there's a double involved, but it's in Bruce Lee case, it's totally genuine. Like, it's a famous line that Bruce Lee said in this movie Fist of Fury, Chinese are no sick man. Basically, he's trying to tell the rest of the world that Chinese is just as athletic, it's just as aggressive and energetic or physical respectable as any other race in the world.
I saw Bruce Lee in 1972 in Golden Harvest movie studio. And that time I'm shooting a movie called Hapkido. And he came to visit us, and with Chuck Norris. And in that time I with Mao Ying and Hong Gambo together. And he there, and everybody's very shocked, and we heard his name for a long time. And also I saw some of his movie, Big Boss. Therefore, he's just like the hero, in our mind. And therefore, the people told us that Bruce Lee is here now. And then everybody is shocked, and everybody is so happy. And then he's so kind and so nice, and to talk to us, everybody, you do martial arts, and then he just talk to you. And then after that, he want to show some of his technique, how's Taekwondo, and how to use the punch, how to use the kick. Therefore, he just want me to work with him, and then to show me how to punch, how to kick. And in that time, there's many reporters there and take pictures. And therefore, I have some picture with him. It's the black and white pictures, And I just really think he's a very good martial artist, and also he also a very nice person, and he do all kind of martial arts. Actually, when I in the studio shooting, and then he also there, because he has an office in the studio, and then he's welcome me to go to see him. Therefore, when I have time, I always go to his office, and then he show me how to training his arm and how strong, and even you cannot pin even his skin, And also we do the Kyosao, and want to see how strong to do your arm. He said that if people punch you, you block, you hurt already. Therefore, and also he showed me it's a very important thing is a weight, And then he just used one hand to bring up for 100 pounds to do like that. Yeah, it's surprising. He's not really tall and very big size, and it's internal. Mostly it's internal and external to combine. Some people just do external, some people only do internal, but it's his combination. Therefore, he can use the internal powers. His punch, his kick, and his movement, and is fantastic. And it's important that also because we are actor too. Therefore, and many people in the movie cannot show the best technique, and also to let the people really attract the people. But he can show all the movement, even the eyes looking and the hand. This is very fantastic, and we learn a lot of things from him, except martial arts, also movies. A long time ago, they do the action movies. They fighting for at least about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But they want to show the technique of Kung Fu style, how to block, how to move the movement, all kind of things. But they can, just like a normal, cannot fight for 10, 20 minutes. It's just joke, And therefore, he just create the new action. Just one punch, one kick, and then you just finish it. But for the real life, it's the truth about this. Therefore, I think that people really feel he's so great. I think from this it starts. They say, wow, this punch is so powerful. This kick is one is enough already. You don't need to do about 10 times, and then you kick this guy, and then falling down, and then up again, and then falling down, up again. He just one, and then finish it. Yeah, before he not use the real punch, he can just move very fast and pump, then you finish it. I just feel that, That's what I like. And Bruce, he asked me in his movie, The Game of the Death, and but he shouldn't have, but fortunately he died, and but I think that is a very fantastic movie, and I will be in his side to fight together, to go up to the tower, and every threat have one master. You have to pass it, and then you go up to the top. But I really love it if I have a chance to work for him. But even not, but I saw him so many times, and he also told me many different technique. And also one like this kind of punch is he told me how to use this one. And I really thank him. And even about 8 years ago when I stayed in Los Angeles, and also every year they have all his students have a remember him, and his wife Linda is there too. I'm also invited me to go together, and I think everybody is always remember him even when it's almost 20 years, but the people just feel it. It's just like today happened. Bruce Lee. The most Chinese people in the foreign country, they only to working to be like waiters and like such thing, But since Bruce Lee's movie, and then the people and even movie company, they also use Oriental people more chance to starring the movies, the role. And also they not only feel, when they see Chinese, now they say, hey, you know Kung Fu? The first they ask you this, but before they never ask about that. Who care, But Bruce Lee is really to make Kung Fu famous. It's true. And also make special Chinese actor have more chance to show in the movie in Hollywood. Otherwise, no way.